Hi, hello, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you to tonight's broadcast of Jersey Pro League Hockey, live exclusively on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Live from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey, my name is Trey Wright for BSB. Week number 2 with the 2025 JPL Club Division opens up this evening with a doubleheader with Synergy Uniforms taking on Breakout Sports Broadcasting here in game number 1. Glad to have everybody aboard here on a late June 8th, 2025. A little bit of a Sunday summertime hockey here in the Garden State. And no better way to celebrate the beginning of yet another week here in June than having a little bit of summer hockey here between Synergy and Breakout Sports Broadcasting. And then later on tonight, we'll get a battle of two 1-0 programs in terms of Mr. Lemon Stick Wax and Kapper Hockey Services. But that is then, and this is now. Taking a look at Synergy Uniforms, who comes into this evening with a record of 1-0. They are able to take down. They were able to beat. I'm trying to remember who they were able to beat last week, but nonetheless, Synergy is 1-0 on the 2025 season. Taking a look at some of their top players here. Patrick Ula has 3 points on the season so far. Logan John over on the other side. Jack Turner's got 2 points. There's a very heavy lineup in terms of players that we have seen here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting before. A lot of TCNJ guys and a lot of Rutgers guys on this Synergy Uniforms team. Then over on the other bench, we've got Breakout Sports Broadcasting, their third game of the 2025 season so far. They are 1-1 so far this season. Lost to Mr. Lemon Stick Wax on opening night all the way back on last Tuesday afternoon. Can't believe it's already been a week of action here for the Jersey Pro League. And then they were able to take down a team on Thursday afternoon. They're able to take down the Hockey House podcast on Thursday afternoon, a 6-5 win in the shootout. And it was Synergy Uniforms who had also beaten Hockey House podcast, or lost to, or Synergy, who would beat Hockey House Podcast all the way back on Tuesday. Third game this week for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. First game in nearly a week for Synergy Uniforms. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's coverage of the Jersey Pro League. Got a couple of late game announcements here. In terms of player changes, Mac Alvino will once again be between the pipes here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting with Tyler Balla over on the other side. BSB doesn't have any skater substitutions here. Synergy does have 2. Max Jakob, the younger brother of Daniel Jakob, will be on the ice here. So the 2 Jakob brothers from Manalapan, New Jersey will be on as well, along with Nick Calabrese, another TCNJ Lion. Calabrese will be the lone blank jersey here with the TCNJ shield on the front. We're about ready to go here in game number 1. Shane Gutt will take the opening draw, and we're underway here for today's doubleheader on a Sunday. Quickly taken in the zone there by Jack Turner, and immediately tests Mac Alvino to open things up. Colin McNulty trying to take it the other way, and Alvino will stick that one aside with the pads. Keeping in the zone is Logan John. John trying to find a green Hartford Whalers-esque jersey in the low slot. Instead, this comes all the way up to Shane Gutt. Gutt will drop it back to Frascone. Alex Frascone in 27. He takes it from his own end of the ice, streaks along the far side. Frascone looking for the game's first official shot on net. That one sticked away by Ryan Tobin. Looking for the stretch pass the other way. That one goes off of the stick of Logan John. Icing will be taken away as Alvino will get it over to John, who runs right into the 17 of Ricky Lipsy. Steve Kappas tries to get it back over to Lipsy, who turns it over. Back the other way. Here comes Jack Turner. The Scarlet Knight looks to go on the near side. Alvino will pat it away. Already a couple of good shots here from Synergy Uniforms, who was able to beat Breakout Sports Broadcasting last year. Here is Ryan Solotis trying to put that on to the tape of the 22 of Matt Korobko, the 2 TCNJ Lions. Trying to make things work here for Synergy. Back the other way, streaking down the near side. Here's Ed Asante Jr. Sees that one taken away. Asante Jr. will flip it all the way back over. This came over to the blue helmet there, the 19 of Jacob DeFerris from the University of Delaware. Justin Rauch, another Rider Bronc, along with Shane Gutt, will track this back in his own zone. Defensive zone turnover, and Alvino will make the stop. Crucial stop there from Alvino. On a little bit of a breakaway there. Here comes Daniel Jakob. Will streak it along the near side. Rather, that's Max Jakob wearing the 4 here for TCNJ. Trayvon Walker tries to stick it away there from Logan John. Nearly has that taken out of the zone. Going back the other direction with it is DeFerris. DeFerris trying to steer around the defense. Got past Dan Jakob. And Dan Jakob trying to get it all the way over to Max, and he'll take it out his own way. We'll get it up to Nick Calabrese, the lone blank jersey here for Synergy. We'll find Logan John. And he'll stick it to the other end of the ice down the near side. Well, it'll find Walker. Walker along the near boards. Trying to do a 1-on-2 mission. Was trying to get around the 17 of Tobin. Walker still with it. Try to get Shane Gutt over in the high slot. Jack Turner not able to completely corral it out. And it's back into the Synergy end. 12:10 to go here in period number 1. Synergy leads in the shot category 2-1. Back the other direction it goes. This comes up to Matt Teresi. Teresi trying to fight along with Alex Frascone over on the other side. This is taken out here by Kappas for a brief moment. Then he turns it over. And saying enough of this will be McNulty. He goes right down Broadway. Was trying to get it all the way over to Gutt, who was tied up in the low slot. Back over to McNulty it goes. He's tied up by the 9 of Mikey Holsaffel. And this will flitter out of the zone here for an offensive zone draw for BSB. Clock continuing to wind down here just a little bit. Couple seconds tick off during the stoppage, and a turnover there. Here's Shane Gutt. Gutt tried to get it over to a teammate in the low slot. Comes back to Michael Otrondo. Otrondo all the way to Frascone at the right wing. Puts a shot on net. Saved there by Bala. Frascone trying to get around a couple of green jerseys with red helmets there. That's the 27 of Jack Turner. The Scarlet Knight trying to get around the Nittany Lion of Otrondo. 2 Big Ten rivals for, in terms of football school, they don't play. The 2 hockey teams don't play each other. And Otrondo will take this back the other direction. He's in his own corner, and he gets it up to Shane Gutt. Gutt trying to get it over to McNulty. Turned aside, taken here by Teresi. Teresi trying to get it back up to Logan John, and he will. 2-on-3 for Synergy the other way. John with a little bit of space, trying to pitch that one into the tiny little corner there. Just goes over the bar. Jakob the other direction, gets it over to Jakob. Jakob try to flitter it all the way over, where we'll find Teresi. Teresi will somehow get it up to Jack Turner, who's not able to keep it in. Turner sees that turned over to Alex Frascone. 10 minutes to go here in period number 1. Still no score. Frascone trying to change that. Taken away by Matt Karabko, and Karabko trying to get on his horse. Otrondo trying to take it away the other direction. And here's Ryan Solotist along the near side. Solotist was named the captain for the TCNJ Division II team last Wednesday afternoon. He'll be wearing the C for the Lions lower program. Congratulations to Solotist on that achievement. We're congratulated him in the locker room before the broadcast. Karabko gets it up to Calabrese. Calabrese trying to find Solotist. It's cleared out by Alvino. That one goes off for the side iron, and it's cleared out. Still in the zone, it's kept in, however. This is taken here by Karabko. He blows a tire. Otrondo, rather, that's Asante Jr. trying to take it back the other direction. Asante will get it back. Here's Edmonds looking to take aim. He's blocked. DeFerris takes it. Try to get it up to Asante Jr., who has crashed in the net. DeFerris on it again. He's flanked by Jakob and Calabrese. Back up they go. Here's Asante Jr. back out to the point to DeFerris. DeFerris back over to Asante Jr. It's turned over. Calabrese will get it up. Here's Dan Jakob streaking down the far side. Couple of orange jerseys in front of him. That's off of the skate of Justin Rauch. Jakob will get it back. That just squirts through the blue paint, but not in the back of the 4x6. Both of these teams playing very, very aggressively on either side so far, but the goaltending for either side has been wonderful. Solotist is pickpocketed there. Here comes Shane Gutt all around the other side, trying to put one on net. That's deflected away by Bala. Gutt still with the vulcanized rubber. has 2 green jerseys around him, and he turns it over. Comes Holsaffel. He's not able to get it past the blue line. And Teresi will dump it in. Trying to chase on the other side was Logan John, but this will be kept in here by Walker. Walker flips it up, tried to get it all the way over to Kappas, but the pass a little too far to handle. Icing is waved off, and starting at his own end is Tobin. Holsaffel with it. Trying to steer it away from Shane Good as the Red Bank Regional student will get it up the other way. The shot put on here and steered aside by Mac Alvino, and it's back up to Trayvon Walker, who turns it over in his own end. Back up to Logan John. John just barely able to stick it around right at the blue line. He's able to get a shot chance off. Jack Turner still with it. Board battle right at the half wall, comes back over to Gut. Gut and Tobin coming together for a brief moment there. Teresi will keep it back into the zone. Tobin will flip it into the corner, and this will be taken here by Rauch. Able to get it to just the other side of the circle midway through the first period. Still no goals. Looking for a redirect was Tobin, but it goes into the opposite corner. Walker now with it. One of the alternate captains for this BSB team with a stretch pass over to Kappas. A little too hot to handle. In the battle of the 2-9s racing the other way, Mikey Holsaffel will win that over Steve Kappas. It'll be an offensive zone draw here for Synergy Uniforms. 6:51 to go in a quick-moving opening period of play. Otrondo off for the face-off and was a couple of inches away from getting a 2-on-2 opportunity. Teresi back the other direction. A good back check there from the breakout skater. Comes back over to Asante Jr. Up to Lipsy. Lipsy trying to dance through the defense, and he just can't corral the puck in time. Rebound came right to Otrondo and nearly runs into his own goaltender. Crashing on the other side was Lipsy, and he can't solve Bala. Back and forth we go. It's Turner down the far side. Trying to get around the 16 of Edmonds. No dice there. Asante Jr.'s got it on the tape. 2-on-2 the other way. Asante waits for options. Look for the no-look pass that was just poked out of the zone there by Synergy. Now nearly an odd man rush the other way. A 3-on-1, but a good pinch there from the 17 of Lipsy right in front. They score! The 3-on-1 ended up working out. Right at the doorstep was Logan John. The one-timer goes to the 5-hole, and it's a 1-0 contest in favor of Synergy. So we get another look at that. All the way along the other side. Good pinch of the board there from Lipsy, but all alone in front was Logan John. He puts it right between the legs of Mac Alvino for the go-ahead goal. So it's a 1-0 game here in favor of Synergy Uniforms. We'll get the particulars on the other side. Dan Jakob will streak down the far side. Even numbers for Synergy the other way. Jakob looking for options. He sticks one off of a Synergy teammate. This goes into the opposite corner. Walker's not able to keep possession of it. Karabko's got it. We'll dish it back over to Nick Calabrese. Rather, that's Max Jakob who waits for options. This is truly the TCNJ line out here for Synergy. Max looking for the shot there. Put the wrister onto the pads of Alvino, who's able to turn it aside. This comes back over to Justin Rauch. Will play it over to Walker. Walker fanned on the outlet pass, taken away here by Karabko. Scramble for it. It's poked out here by Gut. Jakob over to Jakob. Jakob looking for options and sends it between the legs of Rauch, who will clear it the other way. This will go the length. Not quite for an icing, as the deflection was called there. Max Jakob back the other direction. Try to get over Nick Calabrese, who was nearly caught in the railroad tracks. Justin Rauch now crashing the net. He goes on a Bala. Stick to side. Rebound comes right back over. And the puck will be on the back end of the net as Shane Gutt was trying to poke at it right behind the office of Tyler Bala. And we'll get another stoppage here with 4:32 to go in the first. Shots 7-5 in favor of Synergy Uniforms. Gut off of the draw, tried to steer it around Karabko to no avail. Karabko still with it, had Solotis right in front of him, and said Gut will send this all the way to the outside. Walker's not able to just barely keep it in. It is kept in by Rauch, looking for the redirect there was Gut. Turns it the other way. DeFerris and Gut trying to come after it. Instead, it's taken away here by Holsaffel. Holsaffel turns it over. DeFerris had it, lost it. Rebound right in the low slot, and Gut's not able to pull the trigger. Dangerous moment there for Synergy as BSB nearly tied the game up at 1. 3:53 to go in period number 1. Trayvon Walker takes it behind Alvino's cage. He'll start the other way with it. Gets around Calabrese. Walker beginning to put on the Jets, looking to go coast to coast with the entire defense, and finally saying enough of that was Ty Bala. Lipsy keeps it in. Nearly got it back to Asante, and Lipsy not able to drive through the zone, comes back over to Edwards. Edwards now driving around, drops it back to Asante. Asante all the way over, right in front for Otrondo, and denied at the doorstep there was Lipsy. Still it's loose at the corner. Otrondo keeps it in. Lost it for a brief moment. Trying to take it away from John. He spins over. Time and space for the Nittany Lion. That's waffleboard into the corner by Bala. Otrondo on it again. Rather, that was Asante Jr. Otrondo couldn't keep it in at the other side. This trickles all the way down, and having to start from their own end once again is Breakout. Otrondo lost possession going past the Halmar logo. He'll get it back onto the tape still. Drops it back. Lipsy with a clap bomb through traffic, denied by Bala. He'll cover up for a stoppage. Breakout was really beginning to buzz during that shift there. They're able to get quite a few shots on net. 14 shots here for Breakout so far in this period. But right now they trail 1-0. Trying to change that here as Asante took aim at the top left corner. This trickles all the way out to neutral zone. Lipsy on the tape-to-tape pass between him and Otrondo. Otrondo try to get around Turner. He will. Looking for the seam pass over to Asante. Delayed offside against Breakout. Asante will play it back over. This is Otrondo down the far side. And he's stick lifted there by Jakob, who will play it back over here to Terizzi. Terizzi will skate it all the way over here to Logan John. John with one goal already. Took aim and looked for the snipe. Another good glove save there from Alvino. Turnaround chance from Max Jakob. No dice. Now a one-on-one the other way. Lipsy will go down the far side. $1:52 to go here in period number 1. A lot of action on both sides of the ice. 1-0. Synergy Uniforms leads. Looking to double up. Here is Matt Terizzi. Terizzi over to Turner, who just goes off of his skate. Taken here by Justin Rauch. Rauch all the way up. And here's Edmonds on a partial break down the far side. Max Jakob is in front of him. Edmonds looking for reinforcements. 90 seconds to go in period number 1. Already the stakes are high in this contest as Rauch just barely kept it in from one knee. Here's Frascone taking aim. He scores! A little bit of a tic-tac-toe play there from Breakout Sports Broadcasting, and Alex Frascone wires it home for the equalizer. So we get another look at that. Started all the way up. Rauch just barely able to keep it in at the zone. And Frascone right through traffic as Bala was screamed. Able to wire it home. And it's a brand new hockey game late here in period number 1. It's 1-1. Holsaffel on the other side gets it up to Solotist. Karabko is pickpocketed by Justin Rauch, and now it comes up to McNulty. McNulty back up to Rauch. Rauch trying to wheel and deal through traffic. McNulty with the puck on his tape, couldn't quite corral it. Gut scrambling in there as well. 44 seconds to go in period number 1. Rauch keeps his SYN, claps it all the way over. Was looking for McNulty on the tap-in. Instead, this is rimmed around where Walker would keep it in on the other side. Walker looking for the redirect, misses 2 feet wide of the cage. Now potential numbers the other way here for Synergy. Karabko on, up to Solotis. Solotis was tied up by Walker. 21 seconds to go. Now an odd man rush the other way for BSB. Gut is on it, trying to turn it around through the zone. Still on it is Gut. Has got Calabrese next to him. He drops it over to Solotist. Gut still not giving it up. He's powering through the zone. Shane Gut looking to get his first of the season. Glove down by Tyler Balla. With 1 second to go in period number 1, Mac Alvino will go to the bench, and 6 Gators will come on here for Breakout. Trying to get a little bit of a leg job going here. Looking for a late goal with the extra skater on. It's not going to come to any avail, and that will do it for period number 1. Shots 15-6 in favor of Breakout Sports Broadcasting, but we're tied at 1 goal apiece here in game number 1 of week number 2 of the Jersey Pro League Club Division. We'll step aside here for a couple of moments, and we'll be right back for period number 2. And we're back here for period number 2 of game number 1 of tonight's doubleheader here for the Jersey Pro League Club Division, live on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Trey Wright on the call as Breakout Sports Broadcasting tied up here 1 apiece with Synergy uniforms. Here so far in this contest, 15 minutes gone by, 30 minutes to go. Logan John opened the scoring up 9 minutes into the contest with Matt Terizzi with the only assist on that play. But Alex Frascone tied it late in the period, about 5 minutes later. Colin McNulty and Justin Rauch, the 2 apples on that play to tie this game up here at 1 apiece. Jack Terizzi looking to retake the lead here for Synergy, and he's just not able to corral it. Lost a little bit of a handle on the vulcanized rubber. Comes back to Stephen Kappas. All by his lonesome just a little bit, and this will go up for an icing as Lipsy was a little too far behind the play. So we'll do it once again with an offensive zone draw here for Synergy Uniforms, who was 1-0 on the season, had that good win over the Hockey House Podcast, a 6-5 win back last Tuesday evening. Wheeling and dealing as Frascone down the other side, trying to bring BSB their 2nd win in a row here. Dangerous play there as Balla had to swat it away from a crashing Alex Frascone, and Altrondo nearly kept it in the zone. Instead, it's numbers the other way, and Turner was a tad offside. Logan John let the puck just go to the back end of the blue line there. A little bit of daylight there results in a neutral zone draw. Face-off will come about 20 feet in front of the Synergy bench. It'll be Solotist and DeFerris who are on the draw here for Synergy and Breakout respectively. DeFerris wins the draw, nearly taken away there from Frascone. And he'll get it up to Ricky Lipsy, who's trying to get it back the other way. Lipsy on a 1-on-2. Back on the other side, they score! One-time tap-in blast from Jacob DeFerris. 2 straight for Breakout will give BSB their first lead of the night. We get another look at that play. That all started with that face-off win. Lipsy was able to take it back the other way. He sends it over to a wide-open Jacob DeFerris. DeFerris started that play with that face-off win. Got enough space, was right down in the low slot. Nothing Tyler Balla could do. Putting that one on a silver platter there was Ricky Lipsy, and it's 2-1 Breakout. The late goal and an early goal in periods 1 and 2 respectively. BSB has come to play, and Synergy might be in a little bit of danger of remaining undefeated. Solotis trying to knock that narrative, puts a little bit of a shot onto Mac Alvino, who will cover up for a stoppage. Reminder that later on tonight at around 6:30 local time here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House, we will have game number 2 of tonight's action. It's a couple of 1-0 programs. We'll take on each other. Kapper Hockey Services, the Young Guns of the Jersey Pro League Club Division, will take on last year's champions, Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. That comes later on tonight at 6:30 Eastern, right here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But right now, Shane Gutt tried to get up to Walker, but Walker couldn't keep it into the zone. Takes it into his own end, gets it back over to Gutt. Gutt flips it back over to Walker as those two play hot potato with the vulcanized rubber. Walker tried to get it around Ryan Tobin before he was denied. Rouch can't keep it in. Shane Gutt waits for Walker, who deflects it off his stick, but the offside call is not going to be called there. McNulty on their weather way, can't keep it out. Holsaffel with a little burst of speed, transitions to the near side. Blocked in front there by the skates of Rouch as Holsaffel went down. Trying to get in there was Terizzi, and just trying to clear it out was Justin Rouch, and he will. Edmonds will kick into himself, 2-on-1 the other way. Edmonds trying to get it over. Here's Shane Gutt on the other side. He scores! Shane Gutt with his first goal as a Jersey Pro League member. He will extend the lead here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. The Rider Bronc will light the red cranberry. That's 3-1. So we get another look at it on the other side, and it's just another transition play, and it's another really tap-in play here for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Tell you what, Shane Gutt has done a lot so far here in 2025. 5th in the team in points coming into tonight. That will skyrocket him all the way up to 3rd. Behind Alex Frascone with 3 points on the season so far. And now Synergy in a little bit of trouble. They led 1-0 midway through the first, and they've let up 3 straight goals. Ricky Lipsy trying to make it a 4-pack the other side. Turns it back to Colin McNulty. McNulty driving through the zone, waits for options. Walker back at the point. Walker through traffic was trying to get it back over to Lipsy. He turns it over in the offensive zone. Now here's Jack Turner when a good back check there from Trayvon Walker. Back the other side. Alvino makes the stop. Nearly had to make another one, but the puck just trickled to the left-hand side of the cage. Terizzi sees that puck. Puck checked away by Walker. Taken out of here by Kappas. Kappas up to Walker, nearly collides there with a Synergy skater. Jakob tied up at the far side. Turner on the other way. Trying to get it up, nearly has a stick lifted there by Walker, and he did. Looked like a little bit of a Sir David Beckham play as he kicked it over. Back up to Max Jakob, took Trayvon Walker into a spin cycle. Jakob will flip it off the tall boards and comes back over to Solotis. Rather, that's a 25 of John. John up to Dan Jakob. Jakob for options. Turns over in the offensive zone. This is flipped out of here by Justin Rouch. Kappas and John coming together there for a brief moment. Comes back up to Lipsy. Lipsy got it off the sidearm for a brief moment. Karem's right back over to Steve Kappas. The puck was loose for a brief moment, and Bala will cover it up for a stoppage. .41 to go in period number 2. 3-1 BSB leads. Asante's not able to win the draw, but coming back with it is Gutt. Gutt with a little bit of a reinvigorated confidence. Tries to get it over to DeFerris. DeFerris will get it anyway, back up to Gutt. Gutt trying to swat at it in the low slot. Instead, it comes back over to Synergy. Otranto keeps it in at the point. DeFerris trying to keep it in. He gets it. DeFerris trying to get it back up for Gutt. Trying to jam it through the near side. Bala says no. Otranto right at the point. Try to get it back up for Asante. It's taken away here by Holsaffel. Otrondo on a 3-on-2, just lost control of the puck. Cleared out here, comes up to Calabrese, but he can't get a hold on it. Taken back here by Frascone, and Solotis will take it back the other direction. Solotis tried to go between the legs of Frascone, but wasn't able to get a complete handle on the vulcanized rubber. Asante Jr. will take it back behind his goaltender's office. Back and forth we continue to go. Frascone the other direction here for the Wake Forest product. Otrondo will find the loose change at the top end of the zone. He'll wire one on and right into the glove of Tyler Balla. Balla, the product of the Kent School for the United States high school hockey program here this season. I believe he played on Breakout Sports Broadcasting last year, which makes this matchup a little bit of ironic if you think of it, but Balla stood tall in that game against the Hockey House podcast. It was a little bit of a scoring derby in that one. But nonetheless, Synergy was able to get their first win of the season. They're looking for win number 2. Frascone sent that one shooting about 20 feet wide of the cage. Edmonds keeps it in at the corners, was kept in at the blue line. Otrondo on the far side takes aim, fires, redirected away by Gutt. 9:10 to go in period number 2. 3-1, BSB leads. Gutt on the other side. Try to get it back up to McNulty. Gutt will take it himself. Here's Shane Gutt powering around. McNulty with the loose change. Can't pull the trigger. Gutt still trying to fly up and down the ice. He has been lethal so far tonight. The man in the orange 25. Jack Turner the other way. The Rutgers Scarlet Knight looking to get Synergy back into this one. Had the wraparound going, but he lost an edge. Breakout on the other way. It's a 3-on-2. Shane Gutt tries to get it over. Frascone trying to get it up to Edmonds. Edmonds was a little too far behind the play. Edmonds will keep it in at the blue line, however. Approaching the midway point in tonight's contest. Edmonds takes aim and fires, redirected away by Turner. Gutt will take it on the other side. Gets it up to McNulty. McNulty will aim, fires once again into the midsection of Tyler Balla, who's getting shelled right now. 25 shots here for BSB. And ever since that first goal came from Logan John for Synergy, it has been all breakout so far in this game. It's been all breakout so far in this second period of play. 2 goals, both coming here for BSB to make it a 3-1 contest. And they've been putting a lot of shots on Tyler Balla, who's just looking for a little bit of offense from his guys so far. Karabko trying to give his netminder that said offense. Spinning away from Justin Rauch at the TCNJ Lion. That one's intercepted by Asante Jr. Gets it up to Kappas. Kappas the other way, trying to split the defense. Instead, it will ricochet it all the way over to Calabrese. Calabrese waits for options, gets it back to Dan Jakob, who sees that taken away here by Lipsy. Lipsy on the far side. Well, poke it ahead in front of him and just trying to make it a little bit of time and space. Instead, it will come up to Solotist. Solotist to Dan Jakob on the far side. Jakob has got Calabrese right next to him. Takes aim himself, misses by 2 feet. Max Jakob will collect his older brother's shot there on the other side, and Jakob takes aim and fires for a stoppage there. And I believe that is Synergy's first pair of shots in the last, I'd gauge about 5 or 6 minutes. It has been all breakout so far in this middle frame. Rauch in the corner. Long flip pass the other way, and here comes DeFerris. He's got time and space on the breakaway. DeFerris looked for the really beautiful play there. Looked to do the Forsberg on Tyler Balla, and Balla was just able to grab a piece of that to deflect wide. Turner the other way, kicks it back to himself, trying to get around Justin Rauch. He sends that one off the side of the cage, and Walker will corral it. Past the midway point here in game number 1. In case you're just tuning in, BSB leads 3-1 here. Midway through the second, trying to change that was Turner. Steered aside there by Mac Alvino. He has been locked down so far in the second period. Lipsy the other way, trying to get it around Jakob. Jakob gets it back up to Terizzi. It's taken away here by Rauch. Justin Rauch driving in. Rauch on the other side, trying to send it through the pads of Balla. Back and forth we go. Logan John, the lone Synergy skater to score so far in this game. Puts one right into the glove of Alvino there on that breakaway chance. Synergy knocking on the door here just a little bit, but Alvino so far in the second has been a brick wall. Hasn't seen a whole lot of rubber, to be honest, here so far in the second period. Most of the shots going the other way here in favor of Breakout. They've got twice as many shots as Synergy does right now, and they're looking for another chance here with Gut on the other side. Gut looking for his second, puts it right into Bala's midsection. Shot number 29, save number 26 for Ty Bala. .604 to go in period number 2. Face off to the right-hand side of Bala. Tobin will win that one off of the draw, trying to take that away from Edmonds. And this will be sticked up here to Synergy down the other way, and Solotis will take it down. Here he comes down Broadway. Puts one on Alvino. He makes another fantastic stop right on the goal line. Mac Alvino coming in as a substitute for these past couple of games for Breakout. He's proved himself to be quite a commodity in the Jersey Pro League. Got it right down Broadway. Just sent it off the inside of the iron. And it just goes into the netting. Scoring chances aplenty on either side of the ice. On one end, you had Mac Alvino making a diving stop there on a Synergy skater, and Shane Gut on the partial breakaway. Had Bala beat, but just couldn't get it off the iron. And it remains a 3-1 contest. Gut has been hungry so far. He's still looking for goal number 2. Puts yet another shot on a Tyler Bala. I believe including the goal, that's about 6 or 7 shots put on there by the Middletown South product. I was talking with him a little bit before the game, and he was excited to realize that he was fifth in the team in terms of scoring. He could be up to first by the night is over, the way that he has been putting pucks on net. Solotis and Evans tied up. McNulty will take it away as Solotis got whacked down to the ice. No call on the play. We continue to play on. Frascone will spin away from Tobin. A little bit of a weak pass will find McNulty regardlessly. McNulty tried to get it up to Gut, who was tied up on that seam pass. Comes back over to Calabrese. Calabrese up for Appalachian. Back the other way as Holsaff will try to get it back on the other way once again. Holsaff just barely able to keep it into the zone. It'll be Frascone. Will take it from his own end. Time winding down in period number 2. Otrando will turn it back over. Otrando back on it again. Waits for option. Sends it into the low slot. Tied up there were a couple of green and orange skaters. Gut is on it. Gets it back over. Right at the doorstep, and whiffing on that was the 16 of Edmonds. Had the entire cage open. Edmonds on it again. Looking to buzz here as Breakout. As Gut sends that one a little bit wide of the cage. And this is the second period, so Synergy's got the long change here in this middle frame. This finally comes all the way out of the zone. Icing waved off, and Synergy is finally going to get those tire skaters off. 3:40 to go in period number 2. Otrando and Turner both fighting for the loose change. Comes up to Lipsy. Lipsy will create a 3-on-1 for Breakout. Here's Frasco and takes aim and fires. Fake the shot. Comes back over to Lipsy. Steered away for a brief moment. Right on a silver platter there for the 4 of Colin Reese. And that's gobbled up by Tyler Bala. Both of these teams have been firing at each other's goaltenders a lot so far in this period. About 6 shots in the last 2 minutes here from Synergy. They've been knocking on the door, but so has BSB. 34 shots in the first 27 minutes of play so far in this contest, and we still got about 18 minutes, or rather 19 minutes to go here in this game. Walker takes it away from Calabrese, and he'll start from his own end. Jakob will collect that on the other side. Max sends it up to Daniel. Dan Jakob looks for options, sends one short side onto Alvino, who makes the save. Jakob on it again, trying to start the merry-go-round around the cage. Instead, it's kicked back up to Rauch. Rauch drops it back over. Here's Frascone trying to get it back up to Rauch. They're not able to collab. Comes up to Colin Reese, a little bit late for this game, but nonetheless, his presence beginning to be felt here for BSB. Jakob down beneath his own goal line, 2:16 to go in the middle frame. Jakob with a lot of speed, trying to get around a couple of BSB skaters, and Alvino's able to make the quick save. Tell you, Max Jakob, if he goes to TCNJ next year, he is certainly going to be a commodity for either of those programs. Trayvon Walker looking to go coast to coast, and he has that sticked aside by Bala. DeFerris on the other way. Lipsy can't corral it. Terizzi up to Turner. Turner trying to get it back up to Terizzi, but it will find Justin Rauch. DeFerris up to Walker. Walker trying to steer it around Jakob, and a 1-on-3 chance will turn into even numbers the other way for Breakout. 90 seconds to go in period number 2. DeFerris on the seam pass, intercepted by Walker. Kapper trying to deflect that home to no avail. Kapper on it again. He waits for options, sends it back to Rauch at the other side. Trying to get it up to DeFerris once more. He was tied up, still remains possession. That one goes right between the blue paint there. Taken up here by Terizzi. 69 seconds to go in the second period. Here's Jakob, splitting around a couple of orange jerseys. Dan Jakob looks for options, trying to get it back over to Jack Turner. Pass was way too hot for Turner to handle. Karabko on the other side. He and Kapper fighting forward right in the referee circle. Lipsy will find this one. He'll turn it over. Here comes Justin Rauch down the near side. Rauch with another orange jersey on the other side. Crashing the other way was Edmonds. That sticked away. Here comes Solotist, trying to bring his team back within 1-2. Good saves there from Mac Alvino. He has been a stone wall. 20 saves on 21 shots here for Mac Alvino. 21 seconds to go in the second period. By far, Synergy's best chance of this frame so far. But Alvino has been the Union depository so far in this contest. Walker and Kapper the other way. Walker takes aim, shoots it just wide of the cage, sticked away by Bala. 5 seconds to go, looking for one final chance as Breakout. Back the other way it goes, but the buzzer will sound with Calabrese all open by himself. And an eventful second period of play will finally come to a close. BSB will take the lead. They tack on 2 more tallies here in the middle frame. They make it a 3-1 contest going into the final 15 minutes of play here in game number 1 of week number 2 here, the Jersey Pro League Club Division here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We'll be back in a couple moments. "30 minutes down, 15 to go as we welcome you back to the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for game number 1 of tonight's doubleheader here for the opening night of week number 2 of the Jersey Pro League Club Division on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright, and our namesake for our team on the ice, BSB, has got a 3-1 lead over Synergy Uniforms. Going into the third and potentially final period of play here tonight. These two teams played very, very close in that middle period, but the first part of that period was all BSB. able to get 2 shots on, or able to get plenty of shots on goal, 2 goals on the score mark. And looking for a little bit more here is Shane Gutt, who had one of those goals, looking for it again. He puts it home. 12 seconds into the period, and Shane Gutt has got his second tally of the night. So we get another look at it. This comes right off of the draw. Trying to get it back over there is Synergy, but just a deflection there, comes right up to Gutt, puts it on to Balla. Rebound comes right over to Gutter, and he's able to stick it home for a 4-1 lead for BSB, and that one goes out of play. And somebody that's really good buddies with Shane, seeing him get his first 2 goals of summer hockey here tonight. Glad to be on the call for that. That one got lifted out of the zone. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. I can guarantee that I'm going to try to throw my hat, the Mercer Chiefs hat that I've got on right now, I'm going to try to throw that onto the ice if he's indeed able to get a hat trick. Steve Kapper, however, looking for his first of the night, puts it right into the glove of Balla. Will kick it back to himself for a stoppage here. 33 seconds gone in period number 3, and BSB looking in pretty good shape so far, but still a lot of hockey to be played. Like I said, 3-goal lead is the worst lead to have in hockey, and looking to make it a 4-goal tally right in front there was Frascone. Put a blast a little bit wide of the cage. This will dump all the way into the bench here off of a high clear from the 4 of Reese. But previewing tonight's second half here, with a little bit of a Sunday evening showdown for some summertime hockey here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax will take on Kapper Hockey Services. The rookies versus the champions from last year, getting started in about 40 to 45 minutes time, depending on whenever this game will end here. Otrondo on the other side sees that gloved away by Balla. A lot of bodies collide in the corner. That was Solo Tiston Gutt, who went all crashing in. Karabko looking for a mano-a-mano the other way. Gets a pass, Frasco, and puts it right on to Alvino, who covers it up with the glove. And a good point-blank save there from Alvino to keep his team up by 4. Up by 3, I should say. It's a 4-1 lead. And tell you what, Alvino has been the stone wall that the Breakout Sports Broadcasting program has been looking for. And they're able to eke out a gutsy 6-5 win in a shootout over the Hockey House podcast a couple of days ago. Alvino 1-for-1 and looking to go 2-0 here in the 2025 season. Of course, we'll have to see if Casey Connor will return for the game later on this week. More of that to be determined. 2-on-1 the other way for BSB. Lipsy flips it up. Here's Edmonds on the ball. He just lost a handle of it as he was transitioning from inside to out. The Yaka brothers with a big burst of speed, but a good back check there. Negates it. What a save by Alvino right in front, and it still goes in. Alvino with probably one of the best saves of the season on the initial chance, and it just goes through. Dan Jakob will end the bleeding at 4 goals. It's a brand new hockey game. It's now a 2-goal deficit here for Synergy. Got to look at that there on the replay. Really good initial save, but nothing you could really do there if you're Alvino on that follow-up. And Synergy finally able to end the goal-scoring drought. And back the other way they go. Wasante Jr. will take it into his own corner down on the near side. 12:33 to go here in period number 3. The clock hasn't started here. It's a good save there from Balla to keep his team within 2. Justin Roush wires one home. That 2-1 took a weird rocket bounce off of the stanchion. Somehow stays in play. Edmonds at the near corner. Gets it up to Walker. Walker through traffic, redirected home. That may have gone off of the stick of Max Jakob. And Walker was looking for the redirect there from Asante Jr. We'll get another look at it. Right in front, it comes up to Walker. And yeah, I believe that may have gone off of the twig of Max Jakob there. Just a tough break, especially when your team is trailing 5-2. We'll see what the official scoring will be, but it's back to a 3-goal lead for Breakout. They're going to give that goal to Matt Terizzi here for the second goal for Synergy this evening, with Daniel Jakob on the primary assist. Shane Gutt's opening goal here, 11 seconds into the contest, was unassisted. Here's Walker on it again. We'll have to see if Walker is given the credit for that tally or if it'll be Asante Jr. Nonetheless, it's a 3-goal lead. Turned aside there by Tyler Balla on a one-time blast there from Walker. McNulty will get it back up to Kappas. Kappas up to Walker. Walker toes the blue line, gets it back up to Kappas. Kappas on the other side, up to Walker on the seam pass. Walker waiting for a little bit of time and space. Back up to Justin Rauch. Rauch has got some time. He's got some space. Trying to get up to DeFerris, who was put into a spin cycle. Kappas from short side, looking for the Jack Hughes below the goal line play. And that'll trickle all the way just inside the zone. McNulty will keep it at the line. Rauch has got a cannon, and that's turned over there. Right in the low slot by Jakob. Rather, that was Karabko. DeFerris lines one just a little, few inches over the bar. Goodness gracious, that one had some heat on it. Kappas up, DeFerris on it again. He's tied up right between the circles. Calabrese just trying to steer it out of his own end, but McNulty will keep it in. Breakout beginning to buzz here in the early stages of this third period. Kappas trying to fight on it, and this will finally trickle down the other way. Icing will be waved off. Justin Rauch starting all the way at the other end of the 200-foot sheet of ice here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Rauch will turn it over. Max Jakob will get it back over. Here's Tobin, who will screech down the near side. Tobin trying to get Synergy back into the contest, looking for the wraparound, denied there by Justin Rauch, who clogged up that lane. Tobin trying to pitch it back into the zone, taken here by McNulty. Tobin will take it back, gets it up to Danny Jakob, and Jakob not able to get it over. Goes back into the near corner. Otrondo on the near side, rather that's Kappas who will turn it over. Here's Jack Turner. Turner on the other way, they score! Max Jakob, welcome to the Jersey Pro League. San Alvino's jockstrap all the way into the stratosphere with that dangle, and he makes it a 2-goal lead. Got another look at that sick play there from the younger Jakob brother. All starts with this play here from Turner. Sends it up in a dirty, dirty dangle there from Max Jakob. And it's back to a 2-goal deficit for Synergy, and Terizzi looking to make it a 1-goal deficit. Back up to Jakob, who's just clogged up a little bit into the lane. Turner's on it again. Now Synergy will get a little bit of mojo here as we approach the midway point in period number 3. Otrondo on the other side, try to get it back up to Asante Jr. Instead, this is steered away once again. Max Jakob. The 1-goal ready, gets it to his older brother of Dan, who's denied. Jakob on the follow-up chance, sent it wide. The Jakob brothers have come to play in this third period as Max all the way over to Dan. He's just denied. Max and Dan looking like the Sedin twins out there. And Dan Jakob just barely able to keep it in. Gets it up to Logan John. John late waits for options, sends it off himself, and puts it right directly into the glove of Alvino for a stoppage. Getting some updates on the goals here. Trayvon Walker indeed got that goal to make it a 5-2 game earlier on the period. And they're going to say that goal went to Jack Turner, maybe on a redirect. But Max Jakob should definitely get an assist on that play for a dirty, dirty dangle there. Logan John got the goal scoring started. Try to get it back over to Jakob. The pass a little too far out in front. Max gets it over. Shot turned aside. Rebound still comes to a Synergy skater. Trying to get it there is John. John and Frascone collide for a brief moment. Now John will fight with Asante Jr. as well as Michael Otranto. Reese turns it over to his Rutgers teammate, but not his teammate on the ice right now. Jakob will get it up to Turner. Delayed offside is negated. Turner trying to get it away from Frascone as the 227s nearly collide. Frascone across the blue line will come back into his own end. We'll get it up to Otranto. Otranto over on the far side. Is nearly taken away there by Jack Turner. Otranto will get it up to the other 27 of Frascone. Frascone up to Reese. Reese and Turner, the two Scarlet Knight teammates, nearly collide at the center ice logo. Reese is all the way up, and he'll turn it over. Otranto's not able to keep it in at the other side, taken away here by Lipsy. Dumping in for a change here is Breakout, and taking it back the other direction here is Synergy. Jakob on the far side. Here's Dan, trying to find his younger brother of Max. Instead, this is taken back up as Max will take it. Trying to get it around a couple of blue and orange skaters. Back down low, Terezi was denied in front. Shane Gutt trying to clear it out, and he will. Loose change in front, now it's a 2-on-2 the other way. Back, oh, there comes Emmons trying to get it back up to Frascone, he was denied. Holsaffel trying to get it back in the neutral zone. Lifted all the way out here by Jakob, and it's gloved down by Frascone. Frascone is onside, loads the wrister, didn't miss by much, just goes over the crossbar. Lipsy on it again, halfway home in period number 3, 5-3, Breakout leans over Synergy. It's been a good one so far, and it's only game number 1 of the night. We still got another game after this, denied at the doorstep there was Lipsy. Balla just got a little bit of a shot off. Save, I should say there. Turner down the near side. He's got a little bit of speed. He puts it off of the backhand there, and he scores. Put it off of the back leg of Mac Alvino. And hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Synergy uniforms right back into the contest. They now trail by 1. We'll get another look at that. Started all the way at Synergy's own end of the ice. And Turner putting on the Jets, gets around Otranto and took it to the house all by himself. Let's make it a 1-goal deficit. Looking for a little bit more here is BSB. McNulty tried to take that away from Korobko, who's tied up a little bit there with the referee in the corner. Korobko with the sick mitts will come down Broadway the other way. 3-on-2 for Synergy, who have made this a 1-goal deficit. Being down by 4-1 at one point. 3-on-1 the other way. DeFerris waits for options, gets it all the way up to Asante Jr. Has to play a little bit back to try to recorral that loose change. DeFerris on it, kicks it up to Walker at the point. Walker with 1 goal already, looking for another, puts one on, and Balla makes the stop. 6:21 to go in period number 3. This game is still far from over. Remember, if you recall back to, I want to say that was Thursday, either Thursday or Friday night, the last time that BSB played. I believe it was Friday night. Breakout had a 4-1 lead over the Hockey House. It ended up being a 5-5 game at the end of regulation. They're hoping that history doesn't repeat itself here, but with 6:05 to go, that one just corrals off the side iron. History nearly repeating itself. And Justin Rauch trying to clear the puck out of harm's way. Dan Jakob will take it on the other side. Turned over, a couple of orange skaters wanted it, and it'll be Justin Rauch. The 2 Bronx coming in on the TCNJ Lion. Rauch sends it on himself, saved by the Kent School netminder of Balla. The 2 Bronx of Gutt and Rauch just trying to get things going over on the other side, and Rauch took it himself and instead of trying to get over to Gutt. Will be another offensive zone draw here, which is won by Synergy. John tried to get it out of the zone, kept in here by Justin Rauch. This one caroms all the way out, and it will come out here. Korobko trying to take it away from Walker. Walker from his own end was beneath his own goal line and will now get it up to Reese. Reese in a foot race with Korobko. Reese trying to split the defense, trying to poke it away from Korobko. Here's Colin Reese, right up to Shane Gutt, denied in front by Balla. Tyler Balla, his best save of the night. Robbed a surefire goal there from Shane Gutt, who was looking for the Hattie. We remain in a one-goal game. So get a good look there at Tyler Balla, who in this third period has let in a goal, but he has played a really good third period so far, and BSB has been stonewalling a little bit here in period number 3, but nonetheless, Walker gets it back up. Reese trying to take it away from Turner. Pass a little too far out in front for Gutt, but he'll take it away from Max Jakob. Jakob all the way over back to Lipsy. Lipsy trying to dangle through the defense right in front for Colin Reese, and a short side save from Tyler Balla. He has been called upon a lot so far in this game, and a little bit of rickety in that second period of play, but in the back end of this entire contest here, Balla has been good. Has only let one goal in on about 18 or 19 shots that he has faced so far in the tail end of this game, and his team rewarding it with 3 goals in that span, looking for a fourth to tie it up. Jakob trying to get it back over to Turner, who was denied in front. Justin Rauch from his own end. This is nearly gloved down by Turner and taken away here by Dan Jakob. Jakob trying to find his younger brother, who comes up to Terizzi. Terizzi will stick it off of Jack Turner, and it'll come up to Trayvon Walker. A delayed offside call is called against Synergy for a moment. Walker takes it on the other end. He's looking for a house call for his second of the night. Take it around Balla's office. Rebound comes on top of the net for a brief moment, and it comes back up to Synergy. Jakob the other way. Gets it up to Jack Turner. Turner on the far side, looking to tie this game with under 4 to play in the third period. Turner still with it, had it up to Max, but Dan will keep it in at the zone. Jakob will send it in from far range, gets it up to Jakob. Jakob looking for a Turner in the low slot, he was denied. Jakob still on it again, spins away from Justin Rauch, gets it back up to Terizzi, and a good short save stop there from Alvino will keep his team up by a goal. Time continuing to wind down here for Synergy Uniforms, who are 1-0 to start the season. BSB 326 away from being 2-1 in 3 games played. Trying to hold on from this late surge here from this Synergy Uniforms program. And now the Lion Line will come on here for Synergy. Calabrese, Solo, Tist, and Korobko are on, but it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Otrandos kicks it back to himself with the skate, puts one on the Balla, denied away, and that one will go into the half wall. Not able to hold on to that was Calabrese, and this will come back up here to Frascone. Frascone wheeling and dealing. He'll rock it down the near side. Trying to get it around Korobko, who lays down a good poke check. Under 3 to go in period number 3. Synergy in need of a goal to tie the game. I have to see when things will go down if Balla is able to go to the bench here, but Synergy marred in their own zone. Now Korobko trying to take it out. It's kept in. Otrando from one knee will put one onto Balla, and Balla will make another stop. Otrando has been really good so far in this contest. Hasn't had a goal. He does have an assist, but he has been able to make magic when called upon. Might not show on the score sheet, but we saw it a lot with Penn State this year. When Otrando is able to make things go, and he's able to make a lot of magic. Nearly had some magic on that play there up to McNulty. McNulty trying to dangle around. Looks for the shot. That one ricochets off the glove of Balla. Edmonds trying to take game. Will pass it up here to McNulty. Back to Otrando right at the circle. That one stick there by Ryan Tobin on the other side. Tobin back to Korobko. Korobko with sticks high in the air. 2 minutes to go in period number 3. Gets it back up to Turner. The 2 adversaries in the NECHL now trying to make some magic happen here in the late stages of this summertime game. This comes out of the zone. Frascone all alone. Tries to steer it around Mikey Hosfall. Hosfapple trying to get it out of there. Steve Kappas blew a tire right in front of the Mike's Amazing Mayo logo, and back the other way was Asante Jr. right in front. Bala! What a save with the pad! Still BSB has got it, trying to jam it home was DeFerris to no avail. 1, 2, 3 to go here in period number 3. Kappas still trying to get things going. Bala keeping his team in the contest, and here comes Synergy the other way. To the bench goes Bala, extra skater on. Logan John backhands one right into the pads of Alvino, and we will get a stoppage after that wickedly quick sequence there. And Tyler Bala making by far the best save of the game so far. 66 seconds to go in period number 3, and trying to save a little bit of breath here for game number 2 coming up in about 20 minutes time. Ryan Solotist will come on as the extra skater here for BSB. Rather, the extra skater here for Synergy as the BSB netminder of Alvino making a crucial save. 6 skaters on with a cage empty here for Synergy. Under a minute to go in period number 3. Looking for a late game tire here is Synergy. Trying to dig after it is Walker. Walker gets it up to DeFerris. DeFerris trying to get around the defense, kept in for a brief moment. This pops out of the zone. Max Jakob will take it. Back up it goes to Logan John. John on the other way. Gets it up to Terizzi, up to Dan Jakob. Jakob with time winding down, 33 seconds to go. Justin Rauch will wire this down all the way down, and this will go for an icing. 26 seconds remain in period number 3. It has been a great game so far here for both of these teams, and it's going to get a little bit greater here if Synergy is able to tie things up. BSB looking to edge out here. Another win. Max Jakob puts one on. Dan Jakob on the other way. This pops out of the zone. 19 to play in period number 3. Jakob up to Solotist. Solotist on a delayed offside is not able to enter the zone. This goes off of the high glass all the way down. Icing called once again. 7 seconds to play in period number 3. One final chance for Synergy uniforms to try to send this game into overtime. The net is empty for Synergy uniforms, 6 on 5. Synergy loads the skaters in the low slot. Face-off is won here by Rauch. Max Jakob up to Dan. 1 second remaining. That just misses high. And Breakout Sports Broadcasting will hold on for their second straight win. 5-4 is your final. Mac Alvino with yet another fantastic performance. And the shots in that game reflected how insane this contest was. 30-49 was the shot ratio in favor of BSB. And they will take home their second win of the season. And Synergy will fall down to 500, 1-1 to start 2025. We got a lot of parity this season. We're definitely seeing it so far here. Saw it a little bit last week, and we're going to see it here in week number 2. But that'll do it for game number 1 of the night. Game number 2 will kick off in about 15 minutes' time here between Mr. Lemonstick Wax and Kapper Hockey Services here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We'll see everybody in about a quarter of an hour. And we welcome you back to the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader here for the opening night of week number 2 of the 2025 Jersey Pro League Club Division here in Newark, New Jersey. Trey Wright on the call, and game number 2 about to get kicked off here between Kapper Hockey Services taking on Mr. Lemon Stick Wax here in the second game of tonight's doubleheader. Glad to have everybody aboard here. Taking a look at both these teams here, starting with Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, last year's champions of the Jersey Pro League. They're off to a good start here, a 1-0. We're able to take down Breakout Sports Broadcasting on the opening game of opening night here this season. They're made up of a lot of guys we've seen here at the ACHA and AAU levels, guys like Tim Wanvig, Ty Vastola, Jacob King, Zach Taylor, Griffin O'Shaughnessy, Josh Kushner, and a lot of smattering talent here on what is slated to be one of the top teams for the Jersey Pro League Club Division. And then on the other side, we got Kapper Hockey Services, the young guns of the Pro Division, Club Division, I should say. Do have a couple of late additions here to Kapper. Travis Rugg will be wearing the 21 that Eddie Salisbury typically wears. Teammate of Matthew Nasinovich over at the Frederick Gun School. And Dylan Gagliardi, the lone collegiate player, subbing in tonight. Gagliardi, playing for the Mountain Hawks of Lehigh, will be wearing Mark Regari's number 48 here this evening. Kapper Hockey Services wearing their black uniforms with red and gold details here. And Mr. Lemon Stick Wax wearing the same uniforms from last year, a la Montreal Canadiens in terms of the design. Yellow, white, and blue here for both these teams. We're getting ready for puck drop here for game number 2 of today's doubleheader. Breakout Sports Broadcasting beat Synergy Uniforms 5-4 in the earlier game, and both these teams looking for a 2-0 start here to the 2025 season. Started off with a really good play there from Travis Rugg right off of the face-off. Comes back over to Gagliardi. Gagliardi playing at the Division I ACHA level with Lehigh, like we said in the pregame show. Hunter maybe trying to take that away in the corner, but instead this is cleared out of here by Josh Kushner, another TCNJ Lion here playing in the Jersey Pro League Club Division. Here in 2025, JT Verdino trying to drive around, fall into the ice. There was the 12 or the 13 of Isaac Saw. Rugg tied up right at the blue line there with Verdino. He comes together with Josh Kushner, one of the more aggressive players for the TCNJ Lions Division I program. This comes back up to Dylan Gagliardi. And back the other way it goes. Kapper looking to open things up, and they do. Hunter maybe rips one home from right between the two circles. And it's an early lead, a minute and a second into the opening period. Maybe rifled that one right down Broadway and just over the shoulder of Jacob King. Like we said all the way back on Wednesday evening, Kapper has they've got so much young talent on that program. A lot of guys from the local high schools in the area. They do have a collegiate player in terms of Gagliardi here coming in as a substitute for Mark Regari, who couldn't make it here tonight. And they're proving it early. Taking down Mr. Lemon Stick Wax early on here in the contest. Still a lot of game to go and a long way to get there, but Kapper looking good here in the early portion of this game. Couple of players taken down. This is Zach Taylor trying to get it all the way over to an LSW teammate. This is wheeled the other direction here by Dylan Boris. Boris trying to tiptoe through the tulips, trying to get it back to the 28 of Scott Williams. Boris on it again. That's turned over and taken away there by the 22 of Nicholas Viola. Not able to keep that one in was Rugg, and this is wheeled back in the other direction here. Back the other way it goes. LSW trying to get things going. Verdino will keep it in right at the point. Verdino sees that one taken away. And trying to crash after it is a 4 of Griffin O'Shaughnessy. That's taken away by Boris on the other side. Boris sees that one pickpocketed there, and crashing on the other way is Verdino. Verdino nearly took the entire cage off with that play, and the cage will, in fact, come completely off, and we'll get a quick stoppage. Just a couple moments into the contest. 1-0 Kapper Hockey Services leads. We'll get you the official breakdown of everything here in just one moment. Rugg off the draw, comes up. Williams makes a good shot there, but it goes just a little bit wide of the cage there for Richie Williams. Verdino trying to get things going again. Rather, that was Josh Kushner. Couple of bodies go into the corner at the other side as Verdino will keep it in for a brief moment. Now it's brought back out here. Here's Travis Rugg. Screaming down the far side, drops it back over to the 9 of Maybe, who's got the game's opening goal so far. Maybe not able to keep it in. This is pitched back out here by Gagliardi. Richie Williams in his own corner will get it up to Kyle Boychuk. Boychuk nearly railroaded, and here comes Rugg. Puts one on to King, and King will make the stop. Still, Kapper continuing to buzz. That goes through the legs of a couple of yellow and blue jerseys. And Matthew Nasinovich, the captain of this young program here for Kapper Hockey Services, had it and lost it as he went through the neutral zone. 3-on-2 the other way. Kushner drops it back. Here's Taylor, rifles one through traffic. He scores. Zach Taylor. A foxy little move there for the Marist Red Fox will knot the game up at 1. So we're right back to where we started from. 1 goal apiece for either team. Jacob McCullough trying to race after that loose puck. It comes back up. Here's Viola trying to rim it around the wall. Will come up to McCullough, who turns it over in his own end. That one saved there by George Cote. First time that we're mentioning Cote here on the broadcast. The Del Barton School goaltender played a fantastic game Wednesday night against College Hockey Buzz. Looking for a little bit more of the same here this evening. It's a 1-1 game. Both these goaltenders have played really well in the last couple of games that they've played. Here's Tim Wanvig, the Ramapo Roadrunner, trying to get things going a little bit offensively. But it comes back to the University of Delaware Blue Hen of Ty Vistola. Trying to take things over. Here's Jack Smith, had it, lost it. McCullough trying to get it out of there, and so was Richie Williams, rather Scott Williams, I should say. A couple of Williams on both teams. No relation there. McCullough all alone, and a good block there from Wanvig on the back check. We'll keep this game tied at 1. That flips all the way up into the bench there. And we'll go out of play. 10:47 to go in period number 1. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Tied up at 1, and we're tied up in terms of shots on goal. Neither team has really been able to set up any sort of offensive zone time. Most of this game has been played back and forth so far. Again, we're very early into the game, so it's a little bit hard to judge a contest based on the first 4.5 minutes. Streaking up is Boychuk. He's going to have a little bit of an opportunity as he goes around the half wall. Boychuk up to Vistola at the point. Glove down there by Rugg, and Rugg will get on his horse back the other way. Across the Devils logo, will transition down to the near side. Rugg looking for the one-man mission, and Ty Vistola was there in time to knock it out of harm's way. Vistola up all the way to Boychuk. Boychuk on it once again. Intercepted there by Kapper Hockey Services. Boychuk will re-intercept it. Tries to get it back up to the Delaware skater of O'Shaughnessy. And O'Shaughnessy will send it just in front of the blue paint. Boris on the other side. Kapper trying to get reset here, and they'll be going down the other way. Maybe with the lone goal for Kapper so far. Looking for another tally. Sends one off the pillows of King. And the Udale D1 goaltender will make yet another stop here. He is 2 for 3 so far tonight. O'Shaughnessy the other way. Can't keep that one into the zone. Maybe trying to steer it around. Comes up to the 15 of Kostrowski. Kostrowski all the way up for Maybe, and it just went off the tip of his mask. Rebound comes back over to Maybe. That just went off of the tail end of the stick there. Maybe had a couple of chances point blank, not able to pull the trigger. McCullough will keep that away from Richie Williams. And it comes back to Kapper as Jack Smith will take it behind his own end. Smith with a burst of speed. He gets around a couple of LSW players, and he'll streak up the far side. Smith looking for a house call. Puts one onto the pads there of King. Comes back to the top of the zone. Sticked away there by Jacob King, part of the University of Delaware program that won the final ever ESCHL tournament over the Orange of Syracuse back over in February. Delaware Blue Hens will be moving off here to a different conference. McCullough trying to take advantage of a blown tire there from an LSW skater. Back over. Looking for it right at the doorstep there was Williams, denied by King. Another shot at the doorstep, deflected away. Taken out of here by Verdino. The Purdue Northwest Boilermaker, skater will try to get back the other way. I'm thinking of Purdue in general. The Boilermakers there from Indiana. George Cote will say, hey, we haven't had a whistle here in a couple of minutes. He'll freeze play. Meant to say that Delaware will be moving over to the brand new ACCHL Division 1. Here for the 25-26 season. Of course, our friends over at the Delaware Hockey Network and James Witherite will be bringing you a lot of coverage. Here comes Travis Young. He's got a partial break. A good back check from Wanvig, denies it. Tic-tac-toe does not go. Kapper with a set play there, and we're going to have a whistle for a hand pass. That'll come out of the zone. Tell you what, Travis Rugg has got quite a lot of speed there for the man in 21 wearing Eddie Salisbury's jersey. He was streaking right up through the gut there. Nearly had a play initially on King. He was stonewalled, and nothing you really can say about that other than a really good play from Kapper, but cannot solve Jacob King to break the one-goal deadlock. Midway through period number 1, glad you could join us here for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader on the Breakout Sports Broadcasting for the Jersey Pro League Club Division. Nasinovich down the near side will dump it in, and he'll give chase. Young, where either King will steer it out of harm's way. Up onto the stick of Sean Bruno. Bruno trying to get up to his Marist teammate of Zach Taylor. Taylor will take it back into his own end anyway. Gets it back up to Bruno with the two Red Foxes trying to combine to bring LSW their first lead of the afternoon. Boris, however, will stick it back up to Travis Rugg. Rugg from his own end circles around his own net before he's beginning to go east with the vulcanized rubber. Rugg up to his Frederick Gun School teammate of Nasinovich. Nasinovich trying to get around Richie Williams, who was a pylon there. A very stiff pylon, I should say. Comes back up to LSW. O'Shaughnessy on it, trying to grab it back. He and Taylor were fighting for a brief moment. It comes back up here. Kostrowski the other direction with it. Got a little bit of time and space and puts one on short side to Jacob King. He'll make another stoppage. And tell you what, Kapper has been coming here over the last couple of moments. They've got 7 shots on net. They've been able to solve Jacob King only once. He's got 6 goals. Rather 6 saves here in period number 1 so far. Maybe puts that one in and out of the glove of King. Hunter Maybe with the only goal in this game so far here for Kapper. He's on it again. Gets it over to Smith and looking for the tip-in goal. That just stays out. Another save there from King off the side of the net. Steaming back the other direction with it is LSW. Richie Williams looking to put the wheels on that one. A high riser goes over the bar. Back and forth we continue to go. Maybe blows a tire, but it'll be in just a little bit onside. And a good play there from Jacob King will result in an offside call. And we'll have to see where the faceoff will come. Looks like it'll be just in front of the Kapper Hockey Services bench. No, it'll be all the way in Kapper's end of the ice to the left-hand side of George Cote. Taking a look at some of the goaltending stats here. Both these goaltenders, 1 for 1 so far this season. Cote, he's got a 3-0 record here. Or a 3-0 GA gain, a .925 save percentage. Well, Jacob King, 1-0 as well. He's got a 2 GA and a .966 save percentage. Similar numbers for both of these goaltenders. And I think it's safe to say we're going to see a low-scoring matchup as O'Shaughnessy got absolutely robbed there by Cote, who makes the follow-up save. Underlining, highlighting, and putting a massive exclamation point on that point was George Cote. And he absolutely sent Griffin O'Shaughnessy to school there. Oh, my goodness gracious, George Cote. We said it a lot all the way in the earlier game, all the way back on, Wednesday afternoon or Wednesday evening, how good Cote was against some of the top teams, some of the top players on College Hockey Buzz. And Cote with one of the best goals you will ever see here. It doesn't even matter if it's summer league ice hockey. That was a save you typically see in, a collegiate season. I think Jacob King's Delaware teammate, Jacob Snellenberg, would say, hey, I've made a couple of saves of those in my time as well. Vistola, another member of the Delaware Blue Hens program, will take it out in the other corner. And back the other way it will go. Kushner across. Looks at the backhander tap and play there for Sean Bruno. Is trying to go back door. No avail there. Kapper the other direction with it. Kushner trying to skate it up. A delayed offside against Kapper will give LSW a little bit of breathing room. Here's Kushner, not able to corral that initial pass. Trying to backhand it once again there for Bruno. Bruno thought about doing the Michigan there for a brief moment. Instead kicks it back up. Williams at the point, gets it back over to Bruno. That ricochets off of the stick of Cote. We'll have a face-off in the Kapper zone. A 1-1 contest with time continuing to wind down here. The clock finally stopped at 33 seconds. 1-1 contest. Hunter Mabey and Josh Kushner are going to get the initial tallies here. I believe Zach Taylor definitely had that only goal here for LSW so far. We'll look at the tape later on. Kushner not able to corral that loose change, and this one goes up to Hunter Mabey. Mabey with one tally already, rockets it down for another. Putting the bar down there. Picked a spot all the way at the top right. And put the cheese in top cheese there to make it a 2-1 game. We'll get another look at that play. That started all the way back up here. And being able to rocket a beauty one. Bar down there was Mabey for his second goal. He is a goal away from a natural hat trick. Kapper with some sick mitts, and this one just goes across for an offside. Face-off will come into the neutral zone, just in front of the penalty box here. Won by LSW, but Jack Smith had it, lost it. Zach Taylor on a little bit of a partial break. Takes it into the corner, gets it back up to O'Shaughnessy. Landvig trying to dig after it, but taken back the other way was Williams, who had his stick lifted there. Kapper still trying to take it back the other direction. Here's Maybe on it once again. Maybe and Wanvig fighting for it in the corner. Maybe will steer it up to McCullough, who gets it up to Williams. Williams spins it away from Boychuk, taken out here by LSW. Vastola down the other direction, up to Taylor. Taylor now on it, whips it around. That one goes into the wheelhouse of Cote, and he sticks it into the opposite corner. O'Shaughnessy tried to put one on. Taylor will corral the loose change. Taylor waits for options. Blast coming from Richie Williams, and that's patted aside by Cote. Still fighting for it in the corner. Williams will get it. Williams trying to steer it up. Here's O'Shaughnessy, not able to get it in time. And the other Williams on the ice will corral the vulcanized rubber. Gets it all the way up to Rugg. We'll see it come out of the zone. Richie Williams keeping it away from Roman Kostrowski. And this is back the other way here for LSW. Cote stopped it and will keep play alive just barely. We'll get it up to Matthew Nasinovich. Nasinovich nearly connecting there with Travis Rugg and is taken back the other way. Viola sends one that was on target. Cote will stick it aside. 1:18 to go in period number 1, 2-1, Kapper leads. Looking to split the entire defense there was Travis Rugg. He was held for a little bit, and he'll go up into the referee for just a brief moment there. Nasinovich on the other side, trying to find Williams. Rather, that's the 15 of Kostrowski on it again. 57 seconds to go in period number 1. A little bit of time and space for JT Verdino. He takes aim. That one blocked down by Cote. Nasinovich on it again, looking for the stretch pass across. Brought down. LSW taking aim and gloving it in there was Cote. 38 seconds to go in period number 1. Tied at 1 goal apiece with 38 to play in period number 1. Shots 12-8 in favor of Kapper Hockey Services, playing as the road team here. The road team here. Taking aim and firing on the other side was Christian Adamski. This comes back the other way. A 2-on-1 with time winding down in the first. Kushner unable to get it. Delayed offside, negated there as Nasinovich takes it back in the other direction. We'll send it up to Maybe. Maybe on the far side. 3-on-2, numbers the other way. Maybe up to Nasinovich trying to stick it through the legs of King. Turned aside by King. Final 2 seconds will tick down here in period number 1, and that will do it. 2-1, Kapper Hockey Services leads over Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. 12-9 is the shot ratio in favor of CHS. Kapper will go into period number 2 with a 1-goal lead. We'll step aside for a couple of moments. $15 down, 30 to go as we welcome you back to the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House for the start of period number 2 between Mr. Lemon Stick Wax and Kapper Hockey Services here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright. I'm on the call. And Kapper Hockey Services with a 2-1 lead over Mr. Lemon Stick Wax going into the middle period. 2 goals from Hunter Maybe and a goal from Josh Kushner. Got the game's only 3 goals so far this evening. Both these teams coming with a record of 1-0, and blowing a tire there was Scott Williams. Rather, that's Jack Smith who will rejoin play. Smith on the near side, try to windmill deke around. Vastola will take it away. Bruno will send it up to Kushner. Kushner will take aim on a wrist shot by the left-handed skater, and it's gobbled up there once again by George Cote for his 8th save of the evening so far. We do believe that that goal from Mr. Lemon Stick Wax was scored by Zachary Taylor. We'll double-check later on. LSW will track back into their own zone with the loose change. Kushner trying to fight off Smith with it, and it comes back over to Maybe. Wanvig on the far side trying to shove his way to the front. Partial 2-on-1 for a brief moment as Wanvig tries to get it through Adamski. Wanvig right in front there for Verdino, and he is denied for just a brief moment. Taking it back here is McCullough, and Adamski will take it back the other direction. Adamski looking to go between the legs of Vastola. He's not able to get it, takes it back into his own corner. Loose change will come up to Josh Kushner once again. The TCNJ Lion will get it back over to the Platoon Northwest skater. Nasanovic over on the far side. The captain of Kapper Hockey Services takes it across the blue line, trying to set it back up for his teammate. Instead, it will come back up to Scott Williams. Back ahead we go. Maybe trying to take it away from Kushner, who's on the forecheck there. Back the other way. Wide open. Here's Kapper the other way, and a good point-blank save from the 31 of Jacob King. King with a really, really good game so far. He has given up 2 goals. It's Thomas White wearing 25 here for Kapper Hockey Services. Stonewall there by Jacob King. White on it again. This time he's not able to, just barely control it. Taken out of here by Butchuk, and now a one-on-one the other way. Zachary Taylor got tied up right in the mid-slot. Comes back over. Here's Dylan Boris controlling it just a little bit. Gets it up to Dylan Gagliardi. Gagliardi all the way up. Taken away here from Tom White. White trying to stick it back the other direction. That's taken away here by LSW. Richie Williams will spin over at the left circle, and he'll begin to go eastward with it. Eastbound and down is the Marist Red Fox. Williams looking to take it to the house on a pitch play on the backhander to no avail. Back into the low slot it comes. That'll be taken out. Nasanovic nearly brought down on a hooking call. He's able to keep up. We continue to play on. Taylor on the far side puts one on to Cote, who steers one short side away for a stoppage. 12:03 to go in period number 2, approaching the midway point here in today's second game of tonight's doubleheader. Wearing 25 is Chase Gaudioso for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Back in the other direction it comes, and Rugg not able to keep onto that one. Viola the other direction. He is brought down, and no call on the play. I think Viola wanted a little bit of a call there for the Delaware Blue Hen. Taking it back the other direction. Here's Maybe across. Maybe 2 goals in a row, looking for a natural hat trick. Gets it back up to Nasanovic, however. Rather, that's a 21 of Travis Rugg. Both Rugg and Nasanovic wearing the red and gold of the Frederick Gun School. Those 2 teammates there. Tim Wanvig, the Ramapo College Roadrunner, takes it over in the far corner. Back on a silver platter for Gaudioso, and that one goes out of the glove of Cote. Gaudioso, rather, that's Bruno trying to drive out of the zone. McCullough will take it back. Westbound is McCullough. He'll steer it through the defense. Was looking to go right on the goal line for Maybe, and that's turned aside. I believe that was Wanvig who got it on the back check to keep it a 1-goal deficit. Trying to get through the defense once again was Rugg. Whipped around there by the 15 of Kostrowski. Trying to play out of it here is Vastola. Kapper doesn't have Isaac Saw on the bench by the looks of it. So that's a little bit of offense that's missing from this Kapper program. Saw playing for the New Jersey Rockets of the USPHL NCDC program. Looks like he'll not be here tonight, but Steam's still up 2-1 to last year's champions of the club division. Looking to make it 3-1 was maybe again. He has been all over the offensive side of the ice. Nasinovic couldn't keep it in. 2-on-1 for LSW. Right down Broadway. Cote stonewalls the 13 of Boychuk. We're running out of ways to completely glaze George Cote there. That was an aggressive Dominic Hasek save, and he paid off for him there. Verdino was turned aside. Back and forth we continue to go here. Approaching the midway point in period number 2. Right in front for Boris. Looked to go for the Forsberg. Couldn't quite keep control of it, and here's O'Shaughnessy. Breakaway chance for O'Shaughnessy. Looking to go between the legs, and he lofted it wide. O'Shaughnessy hot-dogging there a little bit for the man in 4. Was the leader in points last year for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Kept in by Kapper on the other way. Adamski takes aim and goes over the crossbar. Boris on the other way. Verdino looking for another breakaway chance, and he'll get it. Verdino on his horse, trying to go on to Cote, and another miss there from LSW. Cote trying to stop play here, but we continue to play on. That was a really good back check there from Tom White as well to keep his team up by a goal. Really good back and forth action here as Wanvig misses the net by about 20 feet. He'll gain possession of the vulcanized rubber once again, but he's just a little bit offside as the LSW skaters will still coming off to the bench. And this will come back out of the neutral zone right in front of the penalty boxes there. And again, what else can you really say about Cote that hasn't really been said already? 13 saves on 14 shots faced. And I tell you what, the Madison, New Jersey native, 6'1", 176 pounds, he is a hefty boy, especially for a goaltender. You want some height in your net. Seeing all a lot here. We see with Jacob Snellenberg for the Delaware Blue Hens' ACHA Division I program. We see it with Jacob King as well. King sitting at a solid 6-0. See it at the junior level with a couple of guys. Matisse Bars comes to mind. He's a 6'8" goaltender. Played for the Mercer Chiefs premier team last season. Always want to have some height up in the goal crease. O'Shaughnessy with his 3rd breakaway of the night, and this time it's tied up there by Jacob McCullough. Shot from one knee, ricocheted away. That was from the 19 of Bruno. Taylor getting it back up to Wanvig at the point. Wanvig trying to get it back up. It's taken here by Bruno. Up to Zach Taylor. That's gobbled up there. The net came off as the puck went in, and the LSW bench is absolutely incensed. We'll get a replay of what happened there. It was no goal called on the ice immediately as the net immediately came off right as the puck came off. And yeah, you can see Cote makes the initial save. The net comes off right before. I believe that was Sean Bruno rifled it in. I think the case that LSW was making was that Cote knocked the net off of its moorings. Vastola nearly had a redirect goal to negate that argument anyway, but it remains 2-1. Adamski and maybe on it. Adamski is brought down, and he will call a tripping call. So the stripes not in the favor of Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. And Kapper Hockey's services will indeed get a penalty shot to try to make this a 2-goal game. It will be Adamski who will try to double the lead for Kapper. Fans that have come up here for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax not agreeing with the call either. But it will be Christian Adamski. Starts on the far side up on Jacob King, and King will stick it away. In the past couple of nights, aside from night number 1, I think, no player has been able to score on a penalty shot that has not been in a shootout. I think we have had about 7 or 8 penalty shots over the last 4 or 5 games played so far since Wednesday night, and every one of them has been stonewalled by the goaltender. Not sure about night number 1. We'll have to check back in the second period, but at the end of the second period, I should say. Kapper looking to go the traditional route of trying to make it a 3-1 lead as Adamski fanned on that wrister. Adamski is still on it. Flips it back up to Hunter, maybe playing for St. Joseph's Metuchen of the U.S. High School Prep program. Lost it in the offensive zone and taking it back the other way is LSW. Gagliardi racing after it. Trying to get there is Bruno, trying to get it up to Viola, but he was just a little too far off and lost an edge. Maybe turning around, trying to get Adamski right on the back door to no avail. Nasanovic turns around Zach Taylor, looking to go short side as maybe it's still loose. Nasanovic on it again. He is hauled down. No call on the play that time. That looked a little more egregious than the penalty shot call, but the referee is letting them play. Hey, it's what you got to do here in a summer league like this. 5:55 to go in the second period. 2-1, Kapper leads. 2 goals from Hunter has brought Kapper to their only lead so far of the night. Kyle Butchuk trying to change that. He'll go down the near side. Puts one short side off of the midsection of Cote. Rugg the other direction. He'll steer it around. Rugg still trying to get it around Vastola, and Vastola will clear it away. Kept in by Thomas White. White pitches it back in. Collects his own rebound off of the stick of a Marist Red Fox that was Boychuk in 13. Smith trying to crash in. No dice there. Back in his own corner with it. Was it 25 of Chase? Sordillo, Gaudioso. Here's Kostrowski right on it, puts it right off of the crossbar. Roman Kostrowski about 2 inches away from doubling the lead. Goes back the other direction. That one stonewalled by Cote on Kushner. Kushner looking for it again. He's right in the low slot. Cote covers it up, does the splits, and stops play. I tell you what, I know it's summer hockey, but goodness gracious. I'm hoping that everybody, a lot of scouts and a lot of coaches are watching the Jersey Pro League right now. They're watching this young kid from Del Barton and how he's playing right now. I believe he's either graduating this year or graduating next year. But I have to see if Cote is committed to anywhere. Good stick save there. A poke check there on the 7 of Kushner. Underlining the point where we're making. Kushner on it again, denied by Cote. Vastola trying to wheel and deal. Comes out of the zone where Tim Wanvig will take it there, the man in 24. Wanvig blows a tire. Adamski will take it the other direction. 2-on-1 right down Broadway for Scott Williams. He's denied by King. Smith on the other way. That one trickles through the blue paint. Adamski will take it back. 4:07 to go in period number 2. LSW looking to tie this game back up. It's Gaudioso with a little bit of room, but Smith with a good back check will deny it. Trying to get it back there was Gaudioso. Instead, it's Kushner who's tied up there. O'Shaughnessy trying to break it back into the zone, but it'll be Kapper that takes it back out. Kostrowski on his horse once again, and he just lost the handle of it just a little bit. O'Shaughnessy trying to clear it out. Adamski will keep it back in. Adamski and Wanvig trying to dig after it. Wanvig just trying to clear it out of harm's way. Will come up to Williams. Williams gets it onto the stick of Kushner. Kushner trying to clear it out of his own end. That will stay in just briefly. Adamski with the between-the-legs pass. Back to Kostrowski. He gets it over to Williams. They score. Tic-tac-toe, the name of the game here for Kapper. They doubled the lead after some nifty puck movement there from the young high schoolers. That all started with that far play over on the other side. And it is a 3-1 lead, a 2-goal lead here. I thought it was initially going to be a natty-hattie there for Hunter maybe, but it's Scott Williams with his first goal of the season, as King will cover up that time by. I believe the connection went from Adamski to Kostrowski to Williams. But irregardlessly, 3-1, Kapper leads over last year's champions. And it will, in fact, be Williams from Kostrowski to Adamski. Now Kushner a little bit of break over on the far side. Puts on the brakes right in the corner, tries to get it away from Nasinovic. Kushner in the corner, taken up here by Maybe. Maybe wouldn't have the natural hat trick, but he's still looking for a hattie regardless. Took aim for the top right of the cage, but it's into the glove of King. We'll get a stoppage. 2:46 to go in the second period. Maybe in Williams, the 3 goals here for Kapper Hockey Services, and Rugg was looking to join the parade there on a point-blank chance. Gagliardi back in the other way, wide open for Boris, and he's just outdangles himself just a little bit. Wasn't able to get the shot on just yet. Nasinovic through traffic. That one trickles over nearly to the 27 of Zach Taylor. Nasinovic looking for it again, trying to get it over to Rugg. He's denied by the pad of King. Rugg across. Nasinovic with time and space rifles it over the crossbar. Finds Rugg once again, gets it back up to Gagliardi. Gagliardi looking for a little bit of moment here. Gets it back up to Nasinovic. Rugg on it again, able to keep it in at the blue line. Turns it over to Zach Taylor, who will send it down the length of the ice, and icing will be waved off here. Cote will keep it. He'll get it back up to Gagliardi, who will start the other direction, looking to go westbound here for Kapper. Ferocious forecheck, however, will give LSW possession for all of about 5 seconds. Now it's Boychuk trying to keep it away from the crashing Kapper skater. Boychuk with time and space. Partial 2-on-1 here for LSW. Looking for the wraparound chance right in front. Trying to turn around with Sordillo. The net comes off once again, and Cote bailed out by the moorings. Under 90 to play here in period number 2. And things just keep getting very, very interesting over on the other side of the ice. That one goes off the shoulder of Cote. He makes yet another save. Vastola will send it into the opposite corner. $1:13 to go in period number 2. Kapper with a 3-1 advantage right now. Vastola trying to change that as he puts on the brakes. Sending it back up. Sordillo looking for options. Right down Broadway they go. And Cote will cover up once again, his 30th save of the afternoon. 30th save of the afternoon turned evening here as the sun begins to set. 7 o'clock local time here in Newark, New Jersey. Under a minute to go in period number 2. And Mr. Lemonstick Wax looking for a quick one. Flipped out of the zone, however, by Kapper. And takes it back the other direction. Here's Smith, lost control of the puck. And takes it back up here for Sordillo, was looking for the stretch pass. Icing will be called here. And it'll immediately be going back to center ice. I know it's Summer League, but I don't think I've seen an icing call that very just weird before. We'll use the phrase weird. That came right into Kapper's favor. They're able to grab the win from it. Adamski trying to fight off Boychuk, sends it back over to Smith. Turnaround chance, just misses the blue paint. Under 30 to go in the middle frame. Boychuk will send it all the way up, and this will be no icing here. Chase Sordillo trying to take it away from Smith. 13 seconds to go in period number 2. Vastola at the doorstep, denied by Cote. Viola on it once again. Time winding down, 5 seconds to go. Sordillo was just a little bit behind the play, and that's how things will end here in the middle period. Kapper Hockey Services will extend their lead 3-1 going into the final 15 minutes of play. We'll pause for a couple of moments before coming back for period number 3 here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. $30 down, 15 to go as we welcome you back to what could be the final period of action here in tonight's doubleheader from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. Night number 1 of week number 2 for the Jersey Pro League Club Division. About a kickoff here, about an end, I should say. Here's we go into period number 3, the second game of tonight's doubleheader. Trey Wright on the call for Breakout Sports Broadcasting. And it is set to be a fantastic second or third period here between these two programs. Kapper Hockey Services leads 3-1 over Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. That lone goal in the second period coming from Scott Williams. And LSW with a little bit of work to do if they want to remain 1-0. But the talk of the Jersey Pro League Club Division right now are these Kapper boys and how well they have been playing so far. They were able to beat College Hockey Buzz by a pretty sizable margin. They've got last year's champions pretty tied up so far. JT Verdino trying to change that, and George Cote will waffle board one into the opposite corner. He has been an obsidian wall so far in this contest. 31 saves on 32 shots faced. And Kapper has been able to do a lot with nothing, as offsides will be called against Kapper. 3 goals on 24 shots here for Kapper Hockey Services, and they lead by a pair, 3-1. Looking ahead to the remainder or this upcoming week here for week number 2 of the Jersey Pro League, starting off with us being right back here tomorrow night. At 7 o'clock or 7:15 Eastern Time, Homegrown Hockey will be taking on College Hockey Buzz. And the Hockey House podcast will be taking on the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation at 8:45. JT Verdino down the near side, misses the net by about 10 feet. LSW trying to drive the zone. Griffin O'Shaughnessy will take it back here in the other direction, gets it up to Verdino. Verdino pinned in there by the 48 of Dylan Gagliardi. Gagliardi trying to keep it away, and he will maybe not able to keep it around. Kushner looking for the turnaround chance, and Cote with yet another save point blank. So like we were saying, Homegrown and College Hockey Buzz will be the first game tomorrow night. And the Hockey House taking on the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation will be tomorrow, 7:15 and 8:45, respectively. For both of those contests, Corolla Pascal will be on the call. Then on Tuesday, the Jersey Pro League Pro Division will kick off with Top Line Hockey taking on the Team Goose Foundation. It's another good save there from Cote, point blank. That will kick off at 7:15 Eastern Time, right here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. That will be our BSB Game of the Week, brought to you by Pegasus Sports. Top Line taking on Team Goose, and then later on that night at 8:45, 43 Oak, Sean Grevy's program, will be taking on X-Hockey Products, led by Alex Rauter, the commissioner of the Jersey Pro League. That gets kicked off at 8:45, local time here. Then later on, a couple of days after that on Wednesday, it's Mr. Lemon Stick Wax back on the ice, taking on Synergy Uniforms, and College Hockey Buzz will take on Homegrown Hockey. The night after that will be Kapper Hockey Services versus the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. That lone game that evening will be called by John McCooch, an 8:45 puck drop. And later on, the game of the week between the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation versus Breakout Sports Broadcasting will be on the 16th at 9:45 Eastern right here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. And that will do it for week number 2. It's an action-packed week here for the second week of play for the Jersey Pro League. We'll get our opening night of action for the Pro Division. But it's all club so far here. Been all club so far this season. We've had some comers and goers so far, and hey, it's going to be a fantastic another week or another year of competition for the Jersey Pro League, their 3rd year of competition. Thomas White just missing a little bit wide of the cage, trying to triple the lead. Anthony Arcianaco trying to take it back in the other direction. Ryan Sordillo right on the heels there of the 19 of Nasinovic. Nasinovic up to Rugg. Back to Nasinovic. The 2 Frederick Gun School teammates playing a little catch there. Trying to put one on was Thomas White. He's denied there by Jacob King. Shots even, 35-34. Kapper has put a lot of rubber on to Jacob King so far in this period. They've been able to get back in the shot category by just a little bit. Rugg was looking for a redirect to triple the lead. White will come back with it, gets it up to Rugg. Rugg gets it back up to Gagliardi, and the Lehigh Mountain Hawk not able to keep it in. Here's a partial break for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Ryan Sordillo on the other side, and they score! The net came off once again, but that time the referees will say the red light will go on. It looks like it will be Griffin O'Shaughnessy that got that play, and it's a 2-goal game. Taking another look at this play. There's a little bit of a tic-tac-toe play on the other side. It was indeed O'Shaughnessy who was finally able to solve George Cote. And LSW right back into the dance. It's now a 1-goal lead for Kapper Hockey Services, and O'Shaughnessy looking to tie it up in succession. Rugg, however, the other direction, puts it on himself, waffle boarded in the high glass by King. Back in the other way it goes. Here comes Sordillo down the near side. McCullough, a little bit of swatting in front of him as O'Shaughnessy is brought down. He wanted a call, will not get it. O'Shaughnessy trying to stick it all the way up to the 22 of Viola. Pad save there by Cote. He's been a stonewall so far tonight. Back we go. Rugg down on the other side, looking for options, gets it up to Maybe. Maybe looking for the hat trick, sends one off of the cage of Jacob King, and he's able to keep it out. Back and forth we continue to go. Westbound goes Josh Kushner. He is brought down. He will draw a penalty shot. And Mr. Lemon Stick Wax with a chance to tie it. Josh Kushner basically tackled there. Couldn't tell who it was there. I believe that may have been Dylan Boris. They brought him down. Actually, I believe that may have been Jacob McCullough, but nonetheless, doesn't matter who brought him down. Josh Kushner trying to bring us right back to where we started from. 3-2 is the score. Kushner trying to tie the game. In on Cote, and Cote with a stop with a blocker. The penalty shot drought continues here for the Jersey Pro League. 9 straight penalty shots over the last couple of games, and the only shots that have gone in on the one-on-one have been in terms of the shootout that we saw between Breakout Sports Broadcasting and the Hockey House podcast all the way back on Thursday evening. Trying to drive out of the zone there was Scott Williams. Right now has the go-ahead goal. Vastola tied up there with Maybe at the point, sends one on, taken away here by Kapper. Maybe nearly on a breakaway, but it's taken away here by Wanvig. Wanvig trying to swat it away from Williams, and he will. Now Wanvig with a little bit of space. Tim Wanvig trying to find Verdino, and that's tied up there. Lofted out there by Vastola. Nearly intercepted there by Williams, taken back here by Nasinovic. 9:01 to go in period number 3. It's a 1-goal game, maybe trying to double up the lead once again. Shakes off the 88 of Vistola as the game starts to take a little bit of a physical turn here. Hey, it's a no-hit league, guys. No, it's summertime hockey. I know it's hockey, but don't want to injure each other going into the collegiate season here in a couple of months. I can't believe it's already mid-June. June 8th here tonight in Newark, New Jersey. Josh Kushner skates across, loads it up for Verdino. Off of the pads there of Cote. He makes yet another stop. Rugg on the far side in transition. Trying to get it up to Kostrowski. He scores! A breakout chance there from Kapper Hockey Services will bring the lead back up to 2. Roman Kostrowski will get his first goal of the season. It's a 4-2 contest. Kostrowski had the primary assists on the goal there for Williams on the go-ahead goal, and now he has got the insurance goal. Back the other way it went, and Kostrowski able to tap in that pass there from Travis Rugg to make it a 4-2 lead for Kapper. Kapper certainly looks to be the class of the Jersey Pro League Club Division field so far. As Boris looking for it on a Jacob King, he was blocked in front. Boris on it again once more. Denied there by an LSW skater, and trying to take it back the other way was Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Zach Taylor down the far side. He is brought down, tried to sell a call, but no call will be played. Richie Williams down his own end of the ice. Adamski will kick it back to himself. 7:25 to go in period number 3. Offside is called as we're past the midway point here in the third period. Face-off controlled by nobody for a brief moment. Vistola trying to take it away from Rugg, who goes crashing in. Jack Smith will take this the other direction, and he'll send it back the other way to Jacob McCullough. McCullough, the product of Pope John the 23rd, part of the prep school program here in the Garden State. Rugg is brought down. Wanvig sends it across. Onside is LSW. Back the other way, was looking for the back door, was the 27 of Taylor, rather the 22 of Viola. This goes all the way down the length of the ice, and icing will be waved off here. So a chance for Kapper to try to get some fresh legs on the ice. Sent back the other direction, and this time will be icing against Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. But they were able to get the shot off after all the fresh skaters were able to come on here. So wholesale line change for either side and a couple of iced pucks. There'll be a face-off to the left-hand side of Jacob King. Maybe sends it around, puts it into the corner. Vistola and White fighting for it at the half wall will come back to the 13 of Boychuk. Boychuk trying to race after it, and he will get it away here from White. White will take it away from the Marist Red Fox, however. White spins it around, sends it back to the top here. Gagliardi looking for it, intercepted here by Sordillo. Sordillo along the logo. Switches spots there with Vistola. Sordillo was looking for the low slot, but it was clogged up. Taylor puts on the brakes, and this will pop out of the zone. Now a little bit of space for maybe a 2-on-1 for Kapper. Turns into a breakaway right down Broadway. Dylan Gagliardi puts it in. It's a goal. The lone collegiate skater here for Kapper Hockey Services will give Kapper their biggest lead of the night. 3 goals. 5-2 is the lead, and you couldn't ask for a better shot than that. Over on the other side, Gagliardi turned that 2-on-1 into a breakaway chance, and Kapper trying to close things out. A short side chance there, covered up by Jacob King on both chances. I know Travis Rugg has really thirsty to try to get on the scoreboard here for man playing in favor of Eddie Salisbury. The 15-year-old could not make tonight's game. Neither could Mark Regari, the 14-year-old. And two youngest players on the ice not able to make today's contest. This will go out of the zone here. This will stay in the zone, actually. It just goes out of play. I tell you, if you want to feel old, I'm personally an 02 baby myself, and when I was putting these rosters together and I saw that Mark Regari was born in 2010, I nearly had a heart attack. I'm definitely old here. I know Carolo Pascal, 2000 baby himself, seeing guys that are 15 years younger than him play, or 10 years younger, I should say, playing here in the Jersey Pro League Club Division. It's definitely the changing of the guard, especially at the high school level. You know, hey, 10 years ago, people are already saying, I can't believe that kids born in the 21st century are already playing some really good puck here. We've seen it with a couple of guys in the NHL. We've seen it with Connor Bedard. I believe Bedard is 4 years my junior. I believe he is an 06 baby. We see it with Jack Hughes. I saw it with Nico Heischer, I think. I believe Heischer is a 98. We've seen it with a lot of guys, especially at the NHL level, of course, all throughout the collegiate level. Now we're beginning to see it at the high school level. Starting to see Gen Alpha. Rear their head is Travis Rugg right at the doorstep. Just a little bit off the heel of the twig. 5-2. Kapper Hockey Services leads, and a wide chance there from Smith will be corralled there by Jacob King. Rugg off the draw. He's hungry for a red light, but this will come back into possession of LSW. Tim Wanvig with time winding down. LSW trailing by 3. Five to 2 is your score with 4 minutes to go. All alone by himself as Kushner puts one on the Cote, and he's denied point blank. Another opportunity right at the doorstep. Fanning on it was Viola. Had the entire cage wide open, 2 feet away. And now the other direction goes Williams. Rather, that's Boris. He's not able to get a handle on it. Wanvig screaming down the far side. He begins to transition from defenseman to skater. Boris pacing that entire left side of his body up against the iron. Kushner takes aim. That didn't miss by much. Bruno on it on the other side. 3:15 to go in period number 3. How long until Jacob King will go to the bench here? His team trailing by a trio. Bruno on the other side. Sends it back into the opposite corner. Kushner is onside, tries to take it away from Nasanovic, who's surrounded by yellow jerseys. He turns it over in the offensive zone. A good back check there from Rugg. Save the day for just a moment. That shot going wide from LSW. They trail by 3. Maybe looking for the hat trick. Sends it down east. Maybe a little eastbound and down. And the whistle is blown here. I believe that Kapper may be a little bit offside, and that indeed is the call. So LSW will get the line change here with 2:38 to go in the third period. Another reminder that we're right back here tomorrow night for night number 2 of week number 2 for the Jersey Pro League. Homegrown hockey taking on college hockey buzz, and the Hockey House podcast will take on the Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. So the other 4 teams will play tomorrow night to make up the rest of the beginning of week number 2. Each team playing at least 2 teams. What a goal there! Oh my goodness, Kyle Butchuk with an absolute backhander snipe right over the shoulder of George Cote. We got to get another look at that. Boychuk taking it all by himself, gets around the defenseman, and the sick mitts there from the Marist Red Fox. Brings it back to a 2-goal deficit. And this game is far from over, folks. It is a 5-3 lead for Kapper Hockey Services, but that is absolutely a goal that you want to try to get the boys rolling just a little bit. Seems to be a little bit of a debate right in the referee's circle about that goal. Scoreboard here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House does show that it's 4-3, but in actuality, it is 5-3. So LSW does need 2 tallies in the next 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Not sure what the tally is here. Some shouting from both sides, and I think that the scorekeeper had the home and away flipped here. So 5-3, Kapper Hockey Services leads. It was 5-3 for a moment. Now it's showing 5-4. And now it will be 5-3. They had it right, and then they didn't have it right because Kapper is the home team, but it shows that they have 3 goals. And on the Jersey Pro League website, it has things correctly. But nonetheless, it's now down to a 2-goal deficit here for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. 2 minutes to go in period number 3. When does Jacob King go to the bench? Archinako sending it back the other way. Rich Williams will come up. King remaining in his crease for now. $1:47 to go in the period. King still over at his own end. LSW looking for a little bit of zone time here as O'Shaughnessy tries to play it up. Instead, this is Smith who will take it back out. A 2-on-1 for Kapper the other way, looking to ice it. Maybe right down Broadway. He's just going to get the handle on it. Maybe still with it, looking to pitch a backhander on a little bit of a lacrosse play. Coming back the other way, and nearly a collision there between Boychuk and Smith. Now it's O'Shaughnessy trying to get around the defense, trying to get it back over to Taylor. He couldn't do so. This one comes out in the neutral zone, and Jacob King will let Zach Taylor take a handle on this one. Taylor turns it over, maybe on it again, aims for the short side, top shelf, no avail. O'Shaughnessy trying to get it out of his own end of the ice, and he will for a brief moment. White trying to fight after it. It comes back to Verdino. He'll scream down the near side. Verdino takes aim. Saved there by Cote. 47 seconds to go in period number 3. LSW in need of 2. They could have had one there. Pistola down all the way in his other end of the ice. Looking for one final opportunity is Mr. Lemon Stick Whack. It's Thomas White who takes it back the other way. Past the Mr. Lemon Stick Whack skaters. Pitches it up into the opposite corner. 25 seconds to go. Another shot right at the doorstep. Glove down there by Verdino. Rather, it's Ty Vistola who will clear it out the other direction. 15 seconds to go in period number 3. Maybe with one final chance, trying to get the hat trick. He can't hold on to it. Natsinovich was crashing in. Gloving it down was Jacob King with 4 seconds to go. That'll likely do it here. And it looks like that will indeed be the end of the contest as time will whittle down. And Kapper Hockey Services will move to 2-0 on the season. We talked about it all of Wednesday night, how much talent is on the de facto high school team. Here for the Jersey Pro League, almost everybody on this team that is a full-time skater is still at the high school level, and they just took down last year's champions with a final score of 5-3 here after this one. And tell you what, I think we've got our top team at the top of the mountain here with George Cote leading the way in terms of shots. Cote with 44 saves on 47 shots faced. Hunter maybe with 2 goals. A goal for Roman Kostrowski and Scott Williams each. LSW was able to do their job on the other side. We saw Griffin O'Shaughnessy with the goal, Zach Taylor, and a couple other players with goals as well. Kyle Butchuk able to make it an interesting game right at the end, but nonetheless, what a way to open up week number 2 of the Jersey Pro League. We saw Breakout Sports Broadcasting move up to 2-1 on the season. But remaining at the top of the pile with a record of 2-0 is Kapper Hockey Services. They beat Mr. Lemon Stick Wax for the final score of 5-3, and that will do it here for tonight's coverage of the Jersey Pro League. On behalf of Emily Cott, our technical director, for Dylan Manfrey, our videographer, and for Carla Pascal, our executive producer, my name is Trey Wright. We'll be back here tomorrow evening with a 7 o'clock airtime here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey, kicking off night number 2 of week number 2 of the Jersey Pro League. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting things started, but on behalf of everybody here at Breakout Sports Broadcasting and at the Jersey Pro League, thank you all so much for tuning into tonight's coverage, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you all, and have a great evening.